The words you use can shape your reality and can determine the actions that you take. Hi, it's Liz, and I'm back with another video for the Words Have Power series. Today I wanted to talk about how you can actually turn your thoughts into action by paying attention to the words that you use. By changing the words that we use, we can change the thoughts that we think and also then our mindset, and thus accordingly our reality as well. So to get started, there are a few points that I wanted to cover today, and each of them are relatively easy things that you can begin doing immediately. And by implementing this into your life, you can begin to see changes over the next few weeks. I'm not promising a 24-hour turnaround or anything, because this deals with reprogramming your mind, and that takes practice and consistency. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. One note I do want to make, I have my notes on my lap, so if you see me looking down, it's just to double check what point I'm on and to ensure that I'm sharing everything that I want to share. So the very first thing you can do to get your mind functioning in the way that will make it most beneficial for the life you want is to get rid of the word try. So there's currently this thing going on with the word try, where if you think about it, whenever you want to try something new, you say, oh, I want to try that, or I'm trying to do this, so we'll see how it works out, or anything along those lines. What is actually happening when we say try? So when we talk about trying to do things, what is it that we're saying? Because we're not saying that we are doing things, it's we want to try to do things, or we are actively trying to do things. And a way that I kind of see it is, simply put, saying that you're trying something is like dipping your toe into like the water without actually getting in. And let's get real, if you're gonna get in a pool, you gotta get in. There's no kind of like tiptoeing around it or anything like that. So as long as you continue to say that you're trying to do something, you're not actually committing to doing it. And so that right away is the first thing that you need to get rid of in order to get into a mindset of acting. It's time to get rid of the try and go all in. Once that has been removed from your vocabulary, the next thing to do is actually pay attention to the words that you are using, because choosing certain words can actually increase your chances of living a life in a certain way. We internalize everything we think, say, and hear. So by becoming mindful of how we use language and what we are saying to ourselves, we are able to reshape our mindset. Focus on using specific and definitive language when talking about your desires. The more definitive you are when paired with your determination will actually heighten the chances of you attaining it. Be explicit with what it is that you want, so that way you internalize that as it is something that you do want. Don't shy away from what it is that you really want. Don't sugarcoat it. If it's something that you want, if it's something that will provide meaning to your life, then there is no need to undercut it. Similarly, think about how you talk about doing little things, not inherently the big picture, but even, let's say, going hiking or something like that. Often we'll say like, oh yeah, like I wanted to go hiking this weekend, or something along those lines, versus I will go hiking, and putting it into action where it's like, I will do this, I will do that. So instead of I would like to do this and I wanted to do this, instead it's I want to do this, I will do this. None of this shoulda, coulda, wouldas or anything like that. We're working on being very specific. It is through using this specific language that we begin to reshape our mind to viewing it in definitive. Black, white, yes, no, we are going for it, or we are not. Another point would be to have patience and focus on maintaining a positive outlook. So, in order to have something you've never had before, you need to do something you've never done. And so in shaping your thoughts to yield the actions that you want, you really need to focus on letting go of any limiting beliefs and practices that have currently been holding you back. Some of these include having negative thoughts, comparing yourself to others, or not giving yourself the time, love, and attention that you need in order to get to that next level. So don't put a time limit on how long it takes for you to build a healthy mindset for what you want. And also, do not critique yourself in a negative way. I've seen way too many people fall into this habit that actually hinders growth. As you work on becoming more mindful of how you are speaking and interacting with yourself, you'll begin to notice how there are certain habits that you have that may not have necessarily been very beneficial for your well-being. And it can be very easy to automatically start hating on yourself for it and being overly critical and dragging yourself down. It's like when you've been doing anything new, within the first 2 weeks, you'll start to think like, oh, how am I actually doing? And you'll start to look back on it and it's like, oh, yikes, okay, this isn't going exactly how I thought it would. And I've been working on this for 2 weeks and haven't really seen any growth. Why is it that I'm still having like all of these little things happen? This is how it's always going to be. I can never really get out of this rut. Why am I always getting pulled back in? And stop. It can be second nature to fall into these internal monologues, but it is doing nothing to help you. In order for changes to take effect, you need to be all in. You need to become aware of when you start having negative thoughts and become aware of how those thoughts can be hindering your growth. When you have them, just realize like, wait, nope, this is not helping me. I'm going to let it go. Becoming positive isn't about never having a negative thought. It's just about taking in the things that you actually want to feed your life. So think about it like you're at a buffet. You got some positive thoughts, negative thoughts, depressing thoughts, ecstatic thoughts, everything that you can think of on that buffet. And you have a plate. You get to choose what you want to put on it. You are completely in control of what you choose to put on your plate, what you choose to consume, and what you choose to keep with you. As you work on maintaining a positive outlook, you'll notice that as negative things start to come up, if you choose to not hold it as closely as you used to or beat yourself up for the fact that they exist, you'll come to notice that they won't affect you as negatively as they have in the past. Pay attention that whatever comes into your mind, you only hold on to the things that benefit you and help you along your journey. Eventually, it will get to a point that these things will happen and it will be barely a blip on your radar until you no longer notice it. This is not saying that negative things do not happen. It's just about taking control of the things that you want to pay attention to. End comparisons, end negative talk, begin self-love, begin self-respect, begin having confidence in yourself and trusting that you know the path to take and that it is the right path. And along with all of that, none of this like crossed fingers behind your back or anything like that. It's one of the scariest things to be able to open up and really believe that you have the power to create the life that you want, but it is possible. Give it a chance. You won't be disappointed. So to close up, be mindful of all of the ways that you're communicating with yourself. Work on aligning your thoughts and current actions with the life that you want to lead. And from there, begin to notice how by changing your thoughts and changing your mindset, you're then able to create new opportunities to produce the actions you've been looking for. So give it a try and let me know what works for you in the comments below. Until next time, stay mindful and shine bright.